Let's ask students whether they know what the Singapore stone is all about. Hi, have you heard about Singapore stone?
Oh yeah, it's in our history textbook, isn't it? Yeah.
The people I'm going to interview are tourists from China.
Yes.
Excuse me sir, where are you from? Have you ever heard of the Singapore stone? Thank you. Excuse me sir, where are you from? Have you ever heard of the Singapore stone? Thank you. Excuse me sir, may I know where are you from? Singapore? Have you ever heard of the Singapore stone? No. Thank you. Excuse me sir, may I know where are you from?
I'm from Malaysia.
Have you ever heard of the Singapore stone?
No.
Thank you. May I know where are you from?
Malaysia, why?
Have you heard of Singapore stone?
No, never heard of it.
Oh, thank you.
As proven through our interviews with many people from all walks of life, the Singapore stone, found at the mouth of the Singapore River, was not well known by many Singaporeans. Thus, through this documentary, it is our aim to highlight this stone and its importance to Singapore history. Many years ago, it is here, at the mouth of the Singapore River, where the Singapore stone was first found. This is also the location of where the Malayan once stood before it moved to its present location.
I'm now standing in front of the National Museum of Singapore. Inside this museum is where the Singapore stone now resides. However, it's actually only a fragment of the original stone, which measures about 3 meters by 3 meters. The other two big pieces can now be found in a museum in Calcutta, India. So, what exactly is Singapore stone all about?
As mentioned earlier, the Singapore stone was a huge stone found at the mouth of the Singapore River. In 1843, it was blasted to give way to a project of widening the mouth of the Singapore River. The accounts of the Singapore stone are not only mentioned in Munshi Abdullah's book, but also by John Coffin.
Description that the writing found on the inner side of the stone are most likely to be Sanskrit or Majapahit origin. To this date, however, no one is yet able to decipher what the inscription, 51 lines in all, meant, although being to do so would certainly enrich Singapore early history further. Munshi Abdullah said that he too had tried to read it when he visited the site with Mr. Raffles. Further, Munshi Abdullah even gave a narration of many attempts to decipher the writings, citing things such as, many clever people came, bringing flour and lard, which they put in the hollows and then lifted out in hope of getting the shape of the letters. Some again brought the black fluid which they poured over the stone without any success. There are actually 3 theories to the Singapore stone.
The first story states that the Singapore stone is actually Tanjuna Khatib, whose blood turned to stone after he was executed because he was thought to have purposely broke a tree in order to attract the attention of the ladies and to show off his skills. The second theory has it that the Singapore stone was actually a couple who was turned into stone due to their treachery. Sangrajana Thapa, unhappy with the Sultan, had invited and opened the country to be invaded by the Javanese. Due to his treachery, the Sultan put a curse on him and his wife into stone.
The third theory is the most common and well known among many. This theory involves around the character of Badang, who was said to be the strongest man in Singapore. Such rich information behind the Singapore stone, and yet many of us are not aware of its existence. For such rich historical stone to be just lying as exhibits in the museum is such a pity, and hence we feel that there's an urgent need to increase people's awareness of this stone. Will the Singapore stone be forgotten? Will anyone bother learning about Singapore stone and perhaps continue the effort made many years ago to decipher and understand the meaning behind the inscription? Only time can tell.